Hello and welcome to a brand new video. I'm back in Portugal and coming to you from my bedroom. The reason for that is that it is super windy outside, unfortunately a bit too windy for any kind of good audio. And the new side of my structure is still a bit echoey, so that doesn't really work either. It's good to be back in Portugal. I didn't know how I was going to feel coming back into Portugal, but I will admit that when landing in Lisbon and driving up back to the farm, all of a sudden I just started feeling happier and happier as the farmlands just opened up on the way here. Sheep and cows and eagles in the sky, greenery as far as the eye can see, and of course all the olive trees. I was really happy to come home. Cape Town was really interesting. It was just over a year and almost 4 months since I had last seen my friends and family. For me, that's a very long time. I was really excited to see my friends and family, but within a couple of days of landing back on Cape Town soil, I got really ill and I spent the rest of my trip in bed. I did get to see my family and some of my very closest friends. I was really worried that I was going to make them sick. However, that didn't stop us from getting together and seeing each other, and it was so lovely to spend that time with my family. By the time that I left Portugal to go back to Cape Town to visit all my friends and family, I'd really had enough of this renovation and everything, and I think the stress was sitting up here from all the dirt, all the cleaning, all the arguments I had to have with the builder during this project. It was just too much and I really needed a break. It was super sad to say goodbye to the dogs, and I really missed them whilst I was in Cape Town. It was in fact the longest period of time that we have spent apart in all the time that we've been together, but they were being well looked after by my friend who they stayed with in Spain. So that was quite a nice little change for them as well. We all missed each other terribly, but the reunion was really sweet. Hello, babies! Hello, sweeties! Hello, my babies! Where you all out walking? Hello! Shame, baby! Was it a very long shop? Mummy will never go so long again. Hello! Hey! Whilst in Cape Town, I was thinking quite a bit about the farm and how I would feel coming back here. I was really unsure just because of the headspace that I was in at the time that I left here. But being back here now, I feel reinvigorated to tackle some of the tasks and get the project back on track, starting with all the interior stuff, finishing the painting of the ceiling, finishing the walls, the tiling, and getting that space together so that I can move all my things to that side as a bedroom, whilst then preparing this side into a functioning living room and kitchen area, which I cannot wait for. We also have to redo all the electrics on this side, not only to add more plug points and upgrade the electricity, but also to hide all of the existing wires that are on top of the wall. I don't particularly like seeing those, so we're going to have to hide them back into the walls. Regardless, I have so many plans for this year. There's so many projects that I want to tackle. Besides the renovation, of course, there's so many things on the farm that I'm going to be doing as well this year, and I'm hoping to make more time to do both things this year. Now that I've got some experience last year, we'll see what happens this year. Being back in Cape Town taught me a couple of things that I didn't expect to learn. I really thought that I was going to spend my entire holiday back in Cape Town eating and drinking my way through Cape Town at all my favorite places, drinking all my favorite wines from my favorite wine estates, and taking you on the journey with me. Sadly, this did not transpire, as I was ill the entire time I was there. I did manage to get some takeaways, and of course, nothing beats my mom's cooking, so the family lunches that I did attend were incredible. Towards the end of my trip in Cape Town, I came to a couple of realizations. things that I didn't expect to find while I was there. Coming back to the farm, I was also really worried about what I'm going to find, especially with the roof situation. It had rained in the time that I was away, not necessarily very hard, but I knew that there was some rain whilst I was away. I was really worried about the roof and the mold and the water and the electricity, so I wasn't sure what I was going to find when I got back here. I was pleasantly surprised, however, to find that everything looked really good and exactly as I left it. In today's video, I'll share with you what I've been working on since I've been back. And also, during the video, I'm going to share with you 7 things I came to realize from my trip in Cape Town. I hope you enjoy it.
This is Girl Meets Farm.
Everything was the same, yet it wasn't. It wasn't Cape Town that had changed, but me. Unfortunately, although the space is nowhere near as far as I want it to be, everything is still dirty and I still need to finish the ceilings and the floor. It is time to remove at least half of this OSB board to the other section, and the reason for that is the temporary door is starting to fail. And I'd rather save that now because I don't have a replacement door yet for the temporary door. And I need to start closing that and using this door. So that means I've got to open here, even though this isn't finished or warm or anything. But what I'm thinking is I'm going to remove this and then just keep it on the inside as almost like a doorway, it is a doorway, but as a temporary door that I can remove as and when I need to go in and out here, especially at night when this gets really, really cold and there's no heat on this side just yet, to try and keep things warm on the other side, just to put this temporary structure. Right, let's see if I can get it off. Right, 1. See. People. What did it stuck to? Right. I see. Well, I got it open, but let me show you. Right. So I've opened some of it, and I don't know if you get, oh, there was a big spider in there. You can't really see him now. He's like in all the shadows, but anyway, so the OSB was in here, and this is obviously the new height of the floor, and I see there's some electrical cables in there as well. That's almost a 10 centimeter difference between this height and that floor height. So I'm wondering, the best is probably going to be to just leave that another step. So then there's a step there coming in here and another one here. I could probably make that work. It may make it easier for the tiling as well if I leave that as a step. Okay. And of course the other thing that I was worried about is when they plastered, they obviously plastered onto this board and the temporary door frame that they had put in to put that OSB board partition in for me. So when I remove this frame, it's really not going to look good, but I guess that's quite minor, because what I'll need to do is just maybe plaster around here and around the top here, underneath maybe refine this down and then come around so that it doesn't look weird. But up to which point do we do that? I guess that is going to be question for next time or when I get to this. Because before I get to that even, I still have to finish the roof, paint in, and then re-oiling all of these because look at my little fingerprints on all of the beams. And there's quite a bit of dust from my sanding as well. So I just have to re-oil that. I still have to clean down all the granite, clean up all of this in here, because the next step after the painting and the oiling of the roof will be to put in some tiles on the floor so we can start preparing the space a little bit better. I'm also thinking about putting up some curtain rods and some heavy curtains to try and keep the space warmer as well. But again, I will only do that once I've done the floor. So the rest of this week is going to be spent on the ceiling, cleaning up the floor, cleaning up the granite pillars, and seeing how far I can get. Hopefully we can start tiling next week.
The rand to euro exchange rate is currently 18 to 1. Even though I earn in rands, I thought that going back to South Africa, things would feel a lot cheaper. In general, I thought that produce was a lot cheaper. But shopping around and even eating out in restaurants, things have gotten really expensive in South Africa.
Since I'm going to be using this as a thoroughfare more and more now that I've opened up this OSB doorway, it's time to just start getting things a bit cleaner in here, because there is loose cement and dust and sand and everything still lying inside the structure, and I don't feel like traipsing it from this side into that side, and if the dogs run through here they could be doing the same thing. So let's clean up a bit. Today was certainly not about getting things perfect, but just getting things to look better. I don't know about you, but it really makes me so happy when things are neat and organized and look a little bit cleaner. I already feel so much better about this room. Even though it's not perfect, and I probably will take the vacuum over here before I tile, but things are already feeling so much better. Let me show you guys. Like I said, not perfect, but I'm feeling so much better about this room. I still have to do that corner by the door, but I'm a lot happier with the way this looks already. So much better.
With the exception of my mom's cooking, South African wines, and this exceptional fine dining restaurant that one of my friends spoiled me with, the food in South Africa is not as I remember it being. Perhaps I've just gotten used to the varietals in Portugal, which is just as good. It was nice to visit some of the restaurants that I do enjoy, or at least get them as takeaway while being sick. And it was really, really nice to have some familiar favorites.
And so, now that I'm back and the ceiling is still dry, which is great, it's time to continue the painting of the ceiling. I have to finish the painting before I can do the floor. So here we go. My friends from Casa Creativa had to help me get my own scaffolding because the builder did remove all the scaffolding that was here, and I was using his scaffolding to paint before I left for South Africa. So I've invested in my own set of scaffolding. It's going to come in super handy all over the farm because I still have to fix the roof on the storage structures next door. But first, we're going to use it to finish the painting. There's so little paint in here, which is why I'm keeping it in the tin and then decanted. Right, we start with... I use this brush to just do the side so that I can do it neatly and it doesn't go all over the beams, although my little fingerprints are everywhere. But I first use the brush for the paint on the sides, and then I do a roller over everything to get the most of the paint on here. So I don't do the whole thing with this paintbrush, only the very tiny sides where I can't really get to. I'm so nervous as ever on the scaffolding. It's really something else.
I really missed modern day conveniences. Many of them are, of course, because I'm located on a farm, but many of them are just not available in Portugal. Things that I missed, for example, this grocery store, grocery delivery to the home, how easy it is to find gardeners and people to help you in South Africa, online booking systems. Now that is something that still hasn't caught on in Portugal. It felt a bit surreal being back in Cape Town. I used to call it my home before I went there in this last trip. But now I just feel like I'm in limbo. I feel like I don't quite belong there, but I do. And I feel like I don't quite belong in Portugal, but I do. felt a lot more comfortable being in surroundings of familiar medical services. Not only doctors that speak English that you can be comfortable with, but also visiting my oral hygienist whilst I was in Cape Town, because honestly, the dentist here in Portugal gave me PTSD. It's also really amazing to be able to do online bookings for any appointments, including medical services.
Unfortunately, I did not get as far as I would have hoped for this video, but I did get somewhere. I just have a little bit more to do. Only these 7 panels over here, and the bathroom, and then the first coat of paint is officially on the ceilings. It already looks so good, but because of all the splotchiness, I definitely need 2 coats of paint. I did also manage to finish all the siliconing on the outside of the glass blocks, but have still to finish on the inside of the bathroom.
The most bitter and possibly melancholic of all my realizations was that life goes on, with or without you. Friends, family, everything just moves forward.